Welcome back, Corkies. Whether you're an Android user or an Apple phone user, our top 3 wine apps that we're going to be showing you today are going to take your wine experience to the next level. So stay tuned.
Hello everybody, welcome to corkandjava.com, where your go-to place for coffee and wine reviews and how-tos. On this channel, we like to expand and enrich your experience with all your favorite beverages. Make sure you guys hit subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified when all our future videos come out.
All right, we're going to be sharing our top 3 wine apps. There's a ton of wine apps out there. If you use a wine app, give us a thumbs up. It'll help the YouTube algorithm, and also leave a comment down below with what your favorite wine app is, because we're not going to be covering all of them. There's a ton.
Yeah, there's so many.
And there's a lot that are really redundant. So we're not going to be sharing all the wine apps because a lot of them do exactly the same thing, more or less. Some do a little bit more than others. We're going to be sharing with you 3 ones that are all a little bit different from each other. So that way, I mean, we'll save our favorite one for last, and it is loaded with features, and it's the one I use all the time. It's my favorite. But let's kick it off with our first wine app recommendation.
Our first wine app recommendation is one that's really helpful to people who are beginners or they're just looking to up their wine knowledge. It's called Wine Dictionary. And it's basically what it sounds like, a dictionary for all your wine terms. If you are wondering, how do I pronounce this word? You just type it into the app and it tells you how to say it, what it is. There's tons of wine-related terms that you hear people talk about in tasting notes or the terroir, where the wine comes from, the regions. All of that stuff is included in the app, so it's super helpful for beginners and for people who are looking to increase their wine knowledge.
Yeah, especially if you're a student, you're studying for the WSET or something like that. It's just a really quick resource guide for you there. Or for us, we use it a lot for figuring out how to pronounce some stuff, because wine, it's an international commodity, so you're going to get all different cultures and languages in the wine game, and if you're not familiar with all the languages on earth in the wine regions, it can be tricky to learn some of the terms, especially for your first time.
Yeah, some of the varietals are very hard, and even we have to go on YouTube sometimes and listen to someone say it over and over. This wine dictionary is just really comprehensive. It's just it shows you phonetically how to say it. It's super easy, so we definitely recommend that one.
All right, so what's our number 2?
The next one is Wine Events. Now this one is great for if you're looking for a local wine event. You can just search your city, or it can just obviously track your location of where you are, but you can find local wine events that are happening around you, and you can also add them if you know of a wine event that's coming to your city. It's also great for if you're traveling and you want to go to a wine festival or something, in Napa or wherever. So that's really helpful. It actually has a bunch of other resources. With COVID being what it is right now, a lot of places are still shut down, or they're not at having festivals or full occupancy. So a lot of the tastings are virtual, and you can join virtual tastings on this app too. So that's really cool. They also have a section for, I think it's called education. And in this section, there's wine related articles. There's a section for podcasts and blogs.
Too.
Yeah. So, hopefully we can see if we can get Cork and Java on, their website or their app or whatever. So people, more people are seeing Cork and Java. So there's lots of good resources on the app too. It's not just, oh, well, let me find a wine festival, or whatever, a wine event that's close to me. There's lots of great content that you can use to expand your wine knowledge as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned virtual wine tastings. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, Cork and Java on Facebook. We've done several virtual wine tastings there, as well as, we go live periodically on that channel. We have announcements like our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. If you aren't a subscriber to this channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button before we hit 1,000 subscribers so you're entered to win our giveaway at 1,000. And definitely check out our Facebook group so you don't miss that announcement of what that giveaway is, which will be announced shortly.
Yeah, and we even have like other members of Cork and Java on our Facebook group go live with their tastings
Yeah, it's
too.
true.
So yeah, it's really cool.
It's a great community there.
Yep.
So shall we go into our #1 rated wine app?
Yes, I think this is the most popular wine app for wine drinkers by far.
Yeah, if you're watching this, you probably already know what I'm gonna say. And there's a lot of apps that are similar to this too. But this one, I think, to me, it's the best. It's the best user interface. It's got one of the, if not largest, communities on there. It is Vivino. And what primarily I use this app for, although there's so many different things to use this for, is scanning labels and even wine menus. And it'll pull up reviews from people. It'll share so much information about the wine. Which one of the ones that we look at is what is the, kind of the average price for this to see if we're getting a good deal or not. But also, what are the main tasting notes that people are getting? What kind of food pairs well with the wine? And just kind of an overall, what does the community feel? They also have like sommeliers and very high level reviewers on there to see what they think of the wine if they've reviewed the wine. So they'll put some of those top A-listers reviews up front so you can see what.
Yeah, if you've ever been in a grocery store and you see like, oh, this wine was, got like a 94 according to like some like Joe Schmo like festival that doesn't like mean anything. You're like, I wonder if this wine is actually good. You check the app and see if it's actually as good as the the little card claims in the grocery store.
But that's just where it starts, like with the review. What's also great is it catalogs everything that you review and it keeps track of a bunch of different metrics. So like I think in there it says, hey, your #1 varietal that you've tried is California Chardonnay. Like I've had like 25 of them and this is your average rating of them. Your favorite Merlot, like red wine has been this. So it kind of keeps track of what your palate is and it kind of gives you kind of recommendations. And that's another thing that the app has is you can actually buy wine from different retailers on that app. So it's like a one-stop shop, searching for wine, buying wine. Also, it can keep track of what your cellar is. So you can snap a picture of all your wines that you have, maybe stuff that you're storing, and have it in a virtual cellar there. So you can always keep track of what you have basically in your inventory.
That's super helpful because Billy does most of the wine shopping in our house, but when I'm out and I need to get wine, I'm like, oh, I think I recognize this label. Like, have we had this before? So that's really handy to have like, oh yeah, you have a bottle sitting in, your cellar at home, or yeah, you have had this before.
Yep. And another really cool thing that I've noticed, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I've noticed in the last few years, is they have different learning modules to help you kind of get an appreciation for different styles of wine, different varietals of wine, different wine regions, and a bunch of different stuff. And it does it in an interactive way. It makes you get certain wines from like the certain region or whatever module that you're in and actually try wines from that region. And you have to have like usually like 3 or so from that region, and you get like a little badge and you learn all about that wine region in the little module, and you take like a little quiz at the end. It's very informal, but it's a way to kind of learn about the wines you're drinking and kind of interact at the same time, which is pretty neat. And lastly, what I like about Vivino is its own kind of social media. So you can connect with your friends on there, or different celebrities or people in the wine world that you really want to follow and track what they're drinking. You can, you know, comment on other people's reviews. So it's a really cool interactive experience as a whole. And I'm pretty sure the biggest wine user base for an app, and it's got the most cataloged wines. And even when you scan a label, it'll pick up what vintage it is. Like if it's a 2012 or something like that, it'll read it off the label and even pull up what vintage it is. So it's got so much detail, and they did a really good job with that app. And they have a bunch of wine experts on there too that'll help you pinpoint the wine that you're trying to scan if it's something that's really obscure and for some reason the app doesn't have it. We've only run into that maybe once or twice ever. And it's usually like some very local wine that, you know, isn't sold anywhere. But that's pretty much it. It's the best app out there. If you don't have the Vivino app, you need to get on that because it's awesome.
All right, guys, make sure that you leave us a comment with what your favorite wine app is, and make sure that you guys find us on all our social media. We are on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and on Instagram. There's great content.
And we're on Vivino.
Oh yeah, and Vivino.
Find us on Vivino.
Find us on Vivino. We are looking forward to seeing you guys online. So until next time, bottoms up.